All right, about ready to tip this one off tonight. Utah State taking on Live Pacific College. They come in 6-6. Utah State 5-6. Let's get you your starting lineups. First off, at Live Pacific, number 0, Jonathan Cortez, 6'7", 235-pound senior. Mark Eden is your starting point guard, 5'8", 160-pound senior. James Noble, number 4, 6', 285-pound senior, as well as Trey Huckabee, 6'2", 195-pound freshman, and Adam Saavedra, 6'4", 175-pound freshman. Those are your starting lineups. Tonight for Utah State, Dwayne Brown Jr. starts, Diogo Brito starts. Dargington will not go in this game. Sam Merrill and Kobe McEwen, your other starters. And we're underway. Tip-off controlled by Utah State as the Aggies move from right to left across your radio dial. Scott Gerard alongside Lance Becker to Sam Merrill has the ball. Brito into the lane, kicks back to Brown. He'll take the first three, won't go. Sky for the rebound, fought for, and brought down by Live Pacific. Here comes Eden, all 5'8" of him, crossing the timeline. Coach Duryea called him a spark plug out there. Working around the horn, over to Noble. Noble back over to Eden. Eden drives into the lane, kicks out. Three-point shot attempt from the baseline is up and short, and Utah State quickly with the rebound. Saavedra with the three-point shot attempt that goes awry. McEwen tries to drive baseline, can't find anything. Back to Brito, up top, straight away. Over to Sam. Merrill waits patiently, hands over to Brown. Brown into the lane, layup up and in, and the first point's on the board for the Aggies.
We have his shoe came off on the layup, so nothing you can do about that. They're at a 5-4 disadvantage right now.
Dwayne Brown finally gets that shoe fixed and gets back down. Here comes Live Pacific, three-point shot attempt. From the right wing is up and good, and Huckabee's got the first points for Live Pacific, who leads 3-2.
I like the adjustment on offense. We spread them out, we drive them in. Good point in the paint. Here's another one.
Dwayne Brown on a give and go, can't get it to fall, but it'll go to the free throw line. That's a layup you got to make, too.
Well, I think you should jump up and dunk it.
Yeah, Frank.
But I think everyone should jump up and dunk it.
It's easy for me to say.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he has the mismatch in this game. Obviously, he's guarded by a smaller player and feels like he can take him off the bounce as well. So that's a good matchup to watch.
Dwayne Brown Jr. First free throw attempt is good. Score now tied at 3 apiece. He'll have one more. Lines up the second one. It is up and it is off the back iron. No good. Live Pacific finally brings down the rebound as Cortez rips it away from Kobe. Mark Eden crossing the timeline. Live Pacific, the Warriors moving from left to right. Works over to Cortez. Cortez tries to throw down into the paint. Intercepted. Brown going the other way. And Brown, he'll throw that one down.
Yeah, he had to get a running start apparently. Good zone defense by the Aggies, and I think they'll use this a little bit throughout the game, probably trying to save Quinn Taylor buy him some minutes.
Aggies lead 5-3. Dwayne Brown with all 5 points. Ball nearly stolen away as Brito is able to get his hand in there, tip it away, and it will remain with Live Pacific. The Warriors set to inbound over to Eden. Eden cross court over to Cortez. Back to Eden, back to Cortez. He'll take a long three-point shot attempt and get it to go. All right, so Live Pacific 2 for 2 from 3 early in this game. Leads 6-5, 17:50 and counting left to go here in the first half. Kobe McEwen, he'll take a three from the left wing and rattles out. Will not go for him, and Cortez gets the rebound. Live Pacific moving the other way. Huckabee, who had the first three of the game, swings it back over to Cortez. Now to Eden on the left wing, who's quickly double-teamed. Hands off to Cortez. He'll take a three, and for the first time tonight, Live Pacific misses a three. Down low, long shot attempt to Quinn Taylor. Won't go as he was fouled from behind. He'll go to the free throw line.
I like that tempo. It's rebound, outlet, long pass. Aggies did a fine job on defense. One thing you want to be careful of is that they are running a lot of ball screens, and they didn't seem to be too keen in on how they wanted to guard that one. I know Coach Duryea said they had a system there, but it looked like we kind of left Cortez wide open.
Quinn Taylor makes the first one. He'll have one more. Score now tied at 6 apiece. Quinn Taylor turning into a pretty good free throw shooter. At least opposed to where he was before. Now in the high 50s. Second one rattles out as I give him some love. Back iron, and the score remains tied at 6 apiece with 17-19 left to go here in the first half. Eden back over to Huckabee, back to Eden. Eden on the left wing, he'll square up, he'll take a three, and he'll bury the three. 3 for 4 from beyond the three-point line is Live Pacific in this game, and they lead 9-6. Largest lead by any team early stages of this game, 3 minutes in. Brito gets a screen from Taylor, gets into lane, finally hands back to Brown. Brown on the left wing, three-point line extended, back to Brito, over to McEwen on the right side. McEwen wants to go baseline, kicks it back over to Quinn, pump fakes, into lane, goes low to Brown, and Brown throws it down. Beautiful passing.
Yeah, that's a fine play. We told him to dunk it. That's what he's done 2 times in a row.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he heard you, Coach.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fans here tonight because of the holiday break, and he probably heard you say that. Ball is ripped out of the hands, but will go out of bounds and stay with Live Pacific as Cortez got into lane. Taylor and I believe Diego Brito is also in the mix, and they're going to say it goes off of Live Pacific, and they'll hand the ball back to Utah State. So Aggies forcing turnovers, still trailing this game 9-8 with 16:25 and counting left to go here in the first half. McEwen over to Brito, back to Merrill, back to Brito. Aggies working around down low. Taylor had Brown open, instead gives it to Merrill on the right wing, takes the three and misses the three. And Huckabee with the rebound. Keeps it himself, crosses the timeline. Hands off to Eden on the right side. Eden back to Huckabee, will take a three, and he hits another three. 3-pointers are falling for Live Pacific. They lead by 4, 12-8. They're now 4 of 5 from beyond the three-point line. All 12 points coming courtesy of the three-point line for the Warriors. Cross court over to Brito. He's got to look at 3, and he can't get that to fall. And Cortez pulls down the board. Deron Henson set to check in on the next timeout. Eden crossing the timeline, picked up there by Brown. Eden working around. Brown goes under the screen. Eden will go around the corner. Hands low to Cortez. Cortez tries to throw it. Cross court. It's intercepted by Quinn Taylor. Long pass to Brown, who hands off to Merrill. Merrill can't get the layup to go. Aggies will pull back on the offensive board. Brown back to Taylor. Taylor straight away 3, thinks about it, but instead hands back over to McEwen, and the Aggies will reset the offense. 15 seconds left on the clock. Down, pass down low to Taylor. Reverse layup, up and in. And the Aggies cut the lead to 2, 12-10. Live Pacific leading by 2 with 15 minutes straight up left to go.
Yeah, I mean, we make 5 layups and we miss 4 threes. What's that telling you we need to do in this game?
Yep, get to the rim. Julian Perry also set to check in on the next timeout. Saavedra on the left wing, guarded closely by Merrill. Hands over to Huckabee. He'll turn around, take a shot from about 18 feet out. Won't go for him, and here comes Brito with a rebound. Hands off to Merrill. Aggies trail by 2, 12-10. 14.5 minutes left to go. Merrill on a nice pass in the paint to Brown. Brown lays it up and in, and we're tied at 12 apiece.
Yeah, defensively, we're out of the zone, back to man-to-man, and that seems to be a little better. They were just shooting it right over the top of the zone.
Shot attempt, and for the first time tonight, it's a 2-pointer for Live Pacific as Eden's able to bury a 2-pointer from inside the 3-point line, and they take the lead back 14-12 with 14 minutes left to go. Sam Merrill to Brown. Brown down low to Quinn Taylor, who throws down the dunk, and inside play is working well inside the paint for the Aggies, who tied the score up at 14 apiece. Eden can't find anything. Works it over to Noble, who checks into the game. Eden's double team finally has to go back to Noble. Noble will take a 3, and it will go off the iron and will go out of bounds, and the Aggies will let it do just that. 14 apiece is our score. Utah State and Live Pacific on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Welcome on back. You're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Both teams shooting well. Utah State 55%, Live Pacific at 56%. It's the three-point shooting that's keeping Live Pacific in this game, Coach. They're 4 of 7 from beyond the three-point line. Aggies 0 for 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Live Pacific game started out red hot. You know, we have a hand up. It's versus our zone, and they were all challenge shots. They just kind of jumped up and shot them over the top of us. You know, the percentages would tell you that that's not going to last. So if the Aggies can keep spreading out their defense, Live Pacific showed a man and a zone. Both times we're able to kind of spread them out and find the open man for an easy layup. I don't want us to settle too much for threes, but then again, we can't pass them up as well.
Yeah, and there's, you know, look, you got a massive advantage in the paint, and Utah State needs to exploit it. There's no doubt about that.
for sure.
In fact, only they've got 4 players, Live Pacific, that are under 6 feet on this roster that sees time. Pass down into the paint is intercepted, though. Chaz Lister, who comes into the game, gets the interception, and a shot attempt is up and missed. James Noble has it blocked away, but he is fouled, and we've got an injured player for Utah State, and it is Deron Henson, who's able to get helped up by Quinn Taylor, and is having a hard time putting any kind of weight on that left leg.
That's a hyperextension of the knee, but it looks like he's telling coach he's all right. I mean, we can't afford him not to be, but he came down very awkwardly after the block shot, and here comes Sam probably to go in.
Yeah, Deron Henson is going to get some time to try to figure this thing out. Has finally helped up. Utah State's going to sub in Sam Merrill, who might have to play 40 minutes in this game tonight. And Henson gingerly walks off the court. Again, that left leg, and the injuries just continue to pile up, Coach.
Yeah, that's a hyperextension. That's see if he can't walk that off a little bit, or if hopefully there's nothing torn or too severely injured.
All right, going to the free throw line is James Noble. We're all tied up at 14 apiece. Noble hits the free throw. He'll have one more.
It was a frozen rope, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Elias Zidane checks into the game for Live Pacific. Second free throw is up and good. That one's a little nicer to look at. That first one is like he assaulted the rim of that free throw.
Laser beam.
All right, also into the game is Mr. Ainge, who just checked in, as Crew Ainge sees time. Crew Ainge working the point with Sam Merrill now having to play down in the paint a little bit. Isby into the lane as well, and Isby is fouled. And foul will go against James Noble, number 4. Live Pacific leads by 2, 16-14. 13 minutes left to go here in the first half. Julian Perry will inbound, hands it over to Ainge. Ainge, who may get a lot of minutes in this game due to injuries and guys sliding over to different positions. Isby on the right wing, 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to Taylor. Taylor hands off to Ainge. Ainge works into the lane. Push shot is up and missed. Fight for the rebound. Ainge has it. Over to Merrill. He'll take a straightaway 3 and bury it. Crew Ainge in the right place at the right time with a nice assist to Sam Merrill.
Your 4-man. That's going to be a hard matchup offensively.
12:41 left to go. Aggies take back the lead now by 1, 17-16, and Crew Ainge with a steal. 2-on-1 fast break. Hands off to Perry. Perry loses the handle. Need to get that ball to him a little bit sooner.
Yeah, he just got it to him a little too late. You know, this is these are great reps for Crew right here in a game like this where he has a chance to come in and play probably some stretch minutes.
Ainge can get some stills for you. He had 3 stills in his extended time against Valparaiso a couple weeks ago. 12:30 left to go. Aggies still lead by 1 after the turnover. 17-16. Zidane picked up by Ainge, then hands off her to Merrill on the switch. Trying to post up down low to Noble. Noble into the lane out the baseline drive. Can't get it to fall. Sam Merrill's quickly there for the rebound. Over to Perry. Perry quickly into the lane. Push shot won't go. Rebound by Taylor. He'll get that layup up and in. And Utah State leads by 3, 19-16.
Yeah, I tell you what, I really like Crew's defense. I think, we talked about a month ago coming straight off the mission. His legs weren't with him, but he looks good right now.
Huckabee checking back in on the right wing, guarded closely by Merrill. Taylor out, showing on the pick and roll, swings it over to Noble, who tries to drive baseline. Noble took a couple steps and finally stepped on the baseline and turned it over. Something was funky with that dribble, and they got him for the stepping out of bounds. 19-16, Utah State has the lead, and will have the ball back when we come back. 11:44 left to go, first half action on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Aggies lead 19-16 by over Live Pacific College. Few jokes rolling in on Twitter that Utah State's playing an insurance company tonight. No, that was funny the first 2 times, but we can dial that back down now. Live Pacific College, religious school out of California, NAIA school, giving Utah State all they can handle in the early stages of this game, Coach.
Yeah, they kind of came out just with nothing to lose and shot it up over the zone. So the early threes, it's the difference between being down 19-6 as opposed to 19-16. So good on them for a nice start.
Crew Ainge brings the ball down the court. Aggies moving right to left. Ainge picked up there by Mark Eden. Not to be confused with Mark Eaton. Mark Eden with a D. Over to Ainge. Ainge wants to drive baseline. Back to Taylor, straight away from beyond the three-point line. Over to Isby. Isby drives, cross-court pass, goes over the head of, you would need Mark Eaton to maybe bring that pass down. It was a little high. And Live Pacific gets the ball back off the turnover.
Yeah, Coach Morrill used to say he threw it to the tuba player, but he was open.
So Eden brings the ball down the court, crosses the timeline. 11-17 left to go. Aggies lead by 3, 19-16. Eden on the right wing over to Huckabee. Huckabee picked up by Merrill. Looks for a screen, finally dishes over to Eden. Aggie show. Eden goes down low. Good pass, but he can't finish. Dished it off to Jacob Brummett. Brummett had a good look. Ball goes out of bounds off the missed shot. Will stay with Live Pacific, but I like this 5'8" point guard from Live Pacific.
Yeah, he's very active off ball screens, and they set a ton of them. It's interesting because the Aggies are kind of four-way switching those, and he just finds a little seam, and I think, kind of spark plugs it in there.
Yep. So Eden will inbound, all 5'8" of him, underneath his own basket. Finally swings it up top to Cortez. Cortez back to Eden. 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and I don't think he knows it. Finally, he sees the clock, hoists up a long shot. Isby brings down the rebound. Eden didn't keep an eye on that clock. Isby's keeping it himself. Pulls back into the lane. Hands off to Merrill. Merrill back to Crew Ainge, and Utah State will reset this offense a little bit. Isby, crossover dribble. Hands over to Taylor, back to Ainge on the right wing. Ainge with 14 seconds. Looks to shoot, but then finally hands off to Merrill, who drives into the paint, loses the handle, and they're going to call a foul on Live Pacific. And Ches Lister gets hit with a foul. Kobe McEwen's going to check into the game. And Crew Ainge, who I think you gave Utah State some good minutes, is going to check out.
Yeah, I like that he can come in and defensively give us a spark. He gets a steal and sends it the other way.
Isby, right wing three, up, won't go. Can't get that shot to fall, and pulling down the rebound is Cortez for Live Pacific. The Warriors with Eden running the point. We've been stuck at 19-16 for a bit. Live Pacific hasn't scored in the last 3 minutes of this game. As we reach the 10-10 point mark of the first half, Cortez being guarded by Quinn Taylor, trying to go to work. Down pass into the paint, stolen away by Quinn Taylor. Aggies have numbers, 2-on-1. McEwen's going to keep it himself, finish at the rim. Kobe McEwen, Julian Perry with the layup. Or was it McEwen? It was McEwen. 21-16, Aggies with their largest lead of 5. Nice pass, cross court, and the 3-ball falls for Chaz Lister as Eden broke the double team. Could have laid it up, but cross-court passed it over for the 3.
Yeah, that's just a defensive breakdown by Kobe. He thought the switch was there, but you can't turn off that switch. You got to stay with your man until you get relief.
All Utah State leads by 2, 21-19. Quinn Taylor for 3. Quinn Taylor buries the 3. Quinn Taylor continues his hot streak from beyond the three-point line, shooting 60% from the field from beyond the three-point line. Eden into the paint, swings over to Cortez. Cortez on the left wing, back to Eden. Down low to Cortez, who's quickly double teamed. Pass paint, or a pass into the paint. Turnaround jumper is missed. Fight for the rebound and brought down by Isby. Jacob Brummett couldn't handle that pass. Here comes Julian Perry into the lane, breaks into the double team and forces the ball, and he gets beat up a little bit, but he'll go to the free throw line. Comes up a little gingerly, but he's able to walk it off, thank goodness, as I think everybody here at the Spectrum had a collective gasp at the thought of Julian Perry having to miss time.
Yeah, he kind of favoring that right knee, which I saw a little bit in practice as well. So, yeah, we'll see if he can finish free throws here. Wait, subs coming in for him anyway.
Yeah, Julian Perry, by the way, I don't mean to jinx him, shooting 100% from the free throw line. 4 for 4. His only 3 free throws. He was fouled on a 3-point shot attempt against Utah and went 3 for 3 from the line. He's now 4 for 4 on the season. By the way, leading scorer in this game is Quinn Taylor, who's got 10 points. Brown's got 9. Second free throw is up and good, and Julian Perry, who last year was a 67% free throw shooter, is 5 for 5 on the season. He checks out of the game, favoring that leg a bit.
Yeah, good to see Deron back in, though, and see if he can work through this a little bit.
Yeah, Deron Henson back into the ball game. Utah State shows press. Live Pacific's able to break it. Aggies lead by 7, largest lead of this game, 26-19. Elijah Todd checking in for Live Pacific. Over to Eden. Eden trying to get fancy with the pass, loses the handle on it. Sam Merrill's able to pick it up off the turnover to McEwen. McEwen down low to Brito. Brito will take the straightaway three, won't go, and fight for the rebound is going to go out of bounds off of Utah State. 8:14 left to go. Aggies lead by 7, 26-19, as McEwen tried to dish off for a nice pass for three, but just couldn't get it to drop. Eden crossing the timeline, picked up there by McEwen. Working around the horn is Lister. Lister back over to Eden. Eden swings it over to Elijah Todd, who wants to drive. Over to Cortez on the baseline. Shot is up and blocked by Taylor, but Cortez is able to snag it. Cross-court pass once again. Live Pacific's got to get a shot off with 2 seconds left. Eden takes it, and Eden buries the three. 26-22. 7:39 left to go. Coach Duryea thought a foot was on the line, but they give him the three ball. Sam Merrill over to McEwen. Aggies lead by 4. McEwen waits for a Quinn Taylor screen, and they're going to call a foul on Live Pacific. Elijah Todd getting a little handsy. 7:29 left to go. We'll take a break. Utah State leading by 4 over Live Pacific on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Utah State leads by 4, 26-22, 7:29 left to go here in the first half. Went back to the monitor, checked that three ball by Eden. It counts, and our score remains 26-22. Scott Gerard alongside Lance Becker.
Well, I think it's all about points in the paint as kind of our key to the game. I mean, it's obviously Life Pacific's not going to score a lot in the paint, but we have 16 of our 26 points coming from inside, and that just comes from good offense, spreading out the floor. Seeing the cutters. It's going to take a little while to get the lineup right. You have some players that are playing out of position that's a little odd, but we're back to basically starters here and ready to go at the 8-minute mark.
In case you're just joining us, Alex Dargenton out with an ankle injury. Clay Stahl out with a back injury. So Utah State a little limited, but fortunately playing an NAIA school that really has no significant size to them whatsoever. Brown over to McEwen straight away. Aggies, McEwen tries to go for a monstrous dunk, but is stripped away from him on his way to the basket. Noble has it, hands over to Lister, who will take a baseline three. Ball is up in the air and fought for, and McEwen's able to bring down the rebound. McEwen over to Sam Merrill on the right wing. Down low to Quinn Taylor. Back over to Brown. Brown drives into the paint. Push shot is up and will not go, and Cortez is there for the board. And Live Pacific quickly going the other way. Aggies lead by 4, 26-22, 6:50 and counting left to go here in the first half. Todd down low to Cortez. Cortez going to work on Quinn Taylor. Has to get rid of it. Bad pass, but it's finally picked up by Eden, who will take another three and bury another three. Holy smokes. Eden on the night has now got 11 points on 4 of 5 shooting, 3 of 4 from beyond the three-point line, leading all scorers in this game and single-handedly giving Utah State fits. Kobe McEwen, straightaway three. Shot is up, and it is down. Kobe McEwen said, look, little fella, I'm going to try to take this game over.
Yeah, 5'8"'s a gracious
I know.
Number for him, but what he does so well is kind of he hard dribbles towards the basket and then steps back and hits that three. He knows how to create a shot with his limited height.
Yeah, create space for himself. Down low, baseline drive. Shot will not go for Lister. Rebound pulled down by Brown. Aggies lead by 4, 29-25. 5:55 left to go. Brown on the right side. Pull up inside the three-point line. Buries it. Nobody checked him, so he pulled up for the jumper and got it to go.
Yeah, he's just steadily progressed throughout the year, and I think we're seeing kind of what the coaching staff saw when they recruited him.
6-point lead for the Aggies, led by as many as 7. Three-point shot attempt will not go. Rebound finally pulled down by Diogo Brito. Brito pulls up his dribble, hands off to Brown, over to McEwen. Left wing three is short, and the rebound will go out of bounds back to Live Pacific. Checking back into the game for Live Pacific, Trey Huckabee, as well as Adam Saavedra. Crew Ainge checking back into the game for Utah State. Kobe McEwen's going to get a breather. With 5:24 left to go, Aggies lead by 6, 31-25. Three-point shooting, allowing Live Pacific to stay in this game. They're shooting 7 of 13 from beyond the stripe. In the lane, Saavedra down low to Noble. Noble's got to kick it back out. Three-point shot attempt is buried. And that was Cortez who knocks down the three.
It's a breakdown on defense. Again, they're able to drive into the paint, right to the basket, and just kick out for a three.
31-28, three-point game. Diogo Brito, right wing, over to Brown. Brown will take a three, and Brown buries the three. Exchanging three-point shots. Aggies lead by 6, 34-28. Now you need a couple of defensive stops here and create some separation.
Yeah, and I like that three-pointer. It's within the offense. The last two have not been within the offense. There's a big difference.
Eden over to Cortez, who just hit a three. He's going to work in the paint. Cross court. Over to Huckabee. Huckabee picked up his foot, traveled with it as he was trying to drive, and gets called for the travel. Turnover gives the ball back to Utah State, who leads by 6.
Yeah, we're fortunate there. You know, we're just chasing them defensively, meaning we're always one pass behind. As we get to the ball, it's kind of like keep away, and they're just bipping it around the three-point line. So we're going to need to lock down a little bit defensively moving forward.
Burrito on the left wing. Cross court over to Merrill on the right side. Merrill, cross court once again. Down low to Taylor on the left block. Taylor going to work. Turns around, has the ball ripped out of his hands. They're going to go a jump ball, and that will give the ball back to Live Pacific. Good work there by James Noble to get his hand in there and force the jump ball.
Yeah, he's given up 4 or 5 inches, but the minute Quinn turned around and he has the ball below his numbers, not above his head like we teach the big men in junior jazz to do.
For all you junior jazz players out there, for all you kids out there, keep that ball up high. Cross court over to Saavedra. Over to Eden. Eden tries to go into the paint. Cross courts it over to Noble. Over to Huckabee. Huckabee pulls back, fakes the shot. Instead, hands back over to Cortez. Back to Huckabee. Over to Noble, who will take a long shot. Not a three. His foot was on the line. Doesn't matter. Goes off the rim, out of bounds. And that brings us to our final media timeout. 34-28. Aggies lead by 6 with 3:48 left to go in the first half on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Ali Farhang, who, by the way, is the chairman of the Nova Home Loans Bowl, in which Utah State is going to be playing coming up on the 29th, was being recognized at halftime. He's going to, or recognized during that last time out. He'll join us at halftime, talk a little bit about the Arizona Bowl, in which Utah State will play New Mexico State. You remember a lot of basketball matchups, I'm sure, between New Mexico State.
Yeah, for sure. That's the New Mags. I remember my son would always call them the New Mags. We're the Blue Ags. But yeah, fun times, great rivalry. I mean, it was always a battle. I remember Big Blue ripping off the mustache from Pistol Pete or whatever it was, and
that didn't go over well.
No, I thought it was kind of funny at the time, but apparently not so much.
Aggies lead by 6, 34-28. By the way, if you want tickets to that game, go to UtahStateAggies.com. Get down, support your Aggie football team as they get set to wrap up the season. Isby into the lane. Layup is up and in. I don't think a lot of guys can guard Isby on this team from Life Pacific.
I mean, there's a few D1 players that can't guard him. I'm sure there's nobody out here that can check him. I just like the way he's one dribble to the basket.
Yeah. Aggies with their largest lead of 8, 36-28. Ball is batted away by Isby as Huckabee's got to go back for Life Pacific to go get it. Life Pacific with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Cortez down low to Eden. Ball is deflected out of bounds and will stay with Life Pacific, but they'll have 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, it's their 20th game, and you can tell they just move so well together. They just know where their buddy's going to be.
Live Pacific waiting to inbound. Eden down low is going to swing it all the way over to Saavedra. Hands over to Noble. Long straightaway three by Eden.
Oh.
Ball is tipped out by Utah State and controlled by Eden. So Eden, who took a NBA three. Live Pacific's gone the last 2 minutes and 8 seconds without a point in this game. Eden trying to snap that. Search dribble. Hands over to Noble for three. Noble can't get the three to go, and Isby finally pulls down the board. Long pass over the head of Quinn Taylor, intercepted by Live Pacific. Aggies lead by 8, and a foul is going to go against Isby as Huckabee tried to drive on him, and Isby cut him off.
Isby thinks our players are a little taller.
Yeah.
Because this is 2 that he's kind of airmailed up there, and he's just playing a little too fast. He gets up in the air on the dribble, but I like the aggressive play.
Inbound to Cortez. Over to Saavedra, who takes a three and buries a three. And another three-point shot attempt falls for Live Pacific. They are now 9 of 18 from beyond the three-point line here in the first half. And the Aggies lead by 5, 36-31. 2:20 left to go in the first half. Merrill gets a screen. Goes baseline, hands over to Taylor. Back over to Henson. Over to Taylor. Aggies playing keep away around the perimeter. Isby finally will step back, take the shot, and hit the shot. It's a 3, and the Aggies now push the lead back to 8, 39-31. Here comes Huckabee on the right wing for Live Pacific. Back to Eden. Eden guarded closely by Ainge. Aggies trying to keep an eye on this young man because he'll make you look silly if you're not careful. Eden still with working the ball, pounding into the lane with that dribble. Over to Cortez. Cortez, three-point straightaway, is fouled about 30 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, there's just some matchup issues, and we're kind of switching 5 different ways right now, and we ended up with Duran having to guard their point guard, and that just creates a lot of problems.
Yeah. All right, Aggies lead by 8, 39-31. 1:40 left to go here in the first half. Utah State with a 8-point lead. As soon as we get some things worked out with the officiating crew, Aggies Live Pacific will inbound.
So they say Isby's shot was actually a 2.
Okay, I thought it was
He inadvertently raised both hands, the referee said. So I don't know how you inadvertently raise both hands, but apparently
it happens.
But again, I'm the best referee out here today.
So the lead is now 7, not 8. It was a 2-point shot by Isby, 38-31 with 1:35 left to go. Huckabee for the Warriors, back over to Noble, who swings it back cross-court all the way over to Eden. Eden going to work on Ainge. Cross-court dribble, push shot up, and gets it to go.
He does a phenomenal job. If it's hard to explain, but he yo-yos that ball. He drives it in, rips it back, and then just goes right past him. He's a good little player.
Crew Ainge might have some nightmares of this kid. Sam Merrill outside the three-point line, extended straight away over to Ainge. Ainge wants to get his into the lane. Push shot won't go. Rebound by Isby won't go. Taylor keeps the ball in play. Isby's got it, and his turnaround shot inside the lane from about 2 feet out is up and good.
So nothing going good. What happens? Quinn Taylor throws it back to Isby, and he scores it. He's just always in the right place, making the right play.
40-33. Aggies lead by 7. We're under 45 seconds left to go. Eden now guarded by Henson. Over to Cortez. He'll take a step back, take a shot, and bury it from just inside the three-point line. It's a 2-point shot as Live Pacific's really ramped up the scoring here late. 40-35. Aggies lead by 5. Can hold for the last shot. Actually, there's about 2 seconds differential between game clock and shot clock. Ainge getting some instructions. Aggies are going to call a quick timeout, and we'll take a timeout as well. 40-35, 30-second coach's timeout with 19 seconds left to go on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. .40-35, Aggies lead by 5 with 19 seconds left to go. Aggies with some last-second instruction on how to handle this last possession. As we mentioned, there's about exactly 3 seconds differential between shot clock and game clock. 19 seconds left on the game, 16 seconds left on the shot clock. What do you work up here, Coach?
Well, obviously you want to start with, depending on the play, you're going to want to start with about 8 seconds left. Look for either a high ball screen. Of course, they come out in zone now, so we changed the play, so the timeout was really for naught.
All right, Kobe over to Sam. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Sam into the lane, loses the handle, stolen away by Eden. Live Pacific with the ball. Huckabee working on McEwen. Will take a long 3, won't go. Isby pulls down the board, and that brings us to the end of the half. Aggies unable to capitalize on that last possession. Utah State leads by 5, 40-35. We'll talk some football when we come back on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.